Another edition of What the Fuck, happening's YouTube atheist community and stickam fun. My hair is outrageously bad. Anyway, like the cat. The cat's cute. Meow. Anyway, yeah, so stickam last night. New Year's and all. It went okay. Yeah, it was an alright night. I stayed actually pretty late. Conversations rambled about, did the usual typical thing, sometimes trivial, sometimes not, and yeah, it was pleasant. It was a pleasant evening. Usual players, Boo Boo, Samari, Karina there for a while. Karina, I'll just talk about her first because she's doing the eBay art selling thing, and she's getting real bids. They're pretty damn good. Yeah, really good. So people have real accounts on a bid just to make sure things will go okay. But anyway, yeah, it's seems to be working out okay. And she's got really a thing for this planet painting thing. She does it very well. So it's pretty, she just pulled that one out of her, yeah, just pulled it right out. And all of a sudden, just here, I paint planets. I paint planets. I paint planets. Anyway, but yeah, everybody's got a niche. Gotta say all these words. So that just reminds me of the Modern Mystic, because I just watched the Modern Mystic video, sort of bitching because, he's kind of down because, people are assholes. And it's sort of the same thing that happened with my video. Like, we're discussing feminism, and we get lost in this stupid, idiotic conversation about circumcision again. And there's all this attention. I mean, I never have a video that gets more than, like, 15 comments. And, and there's, like, 790 comments in the videos. And you're just like, what the fuck, people? I mean, I talk about blowing the planet up, and yeah, 4 people are interested. Oh, how controversial! Ooh. And but yeah, you talk about tearing off foreskin, and everybody shows up for that. It is kind of inane, and the Modern Mist is having sort of the same problem where he's talking about the realities of the underlying dynamics of the economy, and idiots show up with their Ron Paul shit or the Fed done it. Fed stole our money, or some kind of bullshit that doesn't have anything to do with like the real dynamic, which is indebtedness. That we've basically sold the future into slavery, and nobody wants to admit it, and that no one's going to actually pay the bill, and that something has to happen when somebody decides not to pay a bill. That has a consequence. Yeah, it just doesn't magically. You just don't say, "I'm going to go bankrupt," and the problem's solved. No. It really doesn't work that way, idiots. That tree is going to fall down, and it's probably going to try to make a mess somewhere. Anyway, it's not going to fall this way. This tree is going to cause me trouble. I can just see it. It's got a little bird in it. Yeah, a little bird in the tree. Anyway, I don't want to get lost in that subject, but yeah, he's kind of discouraged. I'm kind of discouraged. I mean, I have to do things differently. I know that. I have to take this to the next level, all that kind of bullshit, New Year's resolution, next leveling, I don't exactly know what that'll be, though. And I'm really not in the mood for next leveling. I'm in the mood for sleeping with little pink poofy things. That's what I'm in the mood to do. But I probably won't be able to satisfy that mood desire. And, my tough luck. What else? Oh, well, I think you're an asshole, and you ought to get a regular job, fucker. Oh, that's his opinion. Fuck him. What does Cabbage have to say? Mr. Cabbage, I really don't have an opinion. Which is cool. That's why I like you, and that's why you're in the front of my house, is because you're nicely, appropriately unopinioned. Anyway, alright, what did I write down here? Yeah, absolute crap. Fake Sagan made a video. It's been a while. It's not a bad, it's fake Sagan video. The guy's got a personality and shit, so he's watchable. Even when he's talking, shit, But it was kind of, I was a little, I wasn't sad, but I was a little, him and Ocean have broken up, and, sort of, they're friends now instead of whatever that other kind of thing is. We get the fucking and everything. But anyway, he's smoking a cigarette. I saw him smoke. He's not very good at it, to tell you the truth. It is funny that people just they smoke so unnaturally, and you're just like, oh, come on, you're not doing it right. I mean, they just look awkward, you know. At least I've noticed that. This thing, yeah, I gotta see if this has got a wider angle. No, it doesn't. Apparently not. Anyway, okay. Sorry to waste your time with that. I can touch buttons on here. It's pretty cool. Touch screen, such. Anyway, oh yeah, I was going to go do the inside thing because there might be videos I can talk about. Let's see if I've covered everything. Yeah, so the fake Sagan video wasn't, I mean, whatever. I mean, you're sort of, I mean, somebody's got to make a video, right? I mean, it's like there is a little bit of a video, it kind of feels like a desert sometimes because, a lot of the videos out there are kind of just this, kind of rambly crap. And so it's nice that sometimes, once in a while, a Paul's Ego or something makes a video where they actually think about what they're going to talk about and do it kind of well and with, some personality and panache and all that kind of crap. So, yeah, that's good. But whatever. I mean, I can't just keep saying whatever. I mean, like I said, I really have to do something different. This isn't going anywhere. I mean, it keeps me out of jail, but it also consumes a ton of my life, and so I should actually accomplish something or move towards something called accomplishment, somewhere in that direction. Christmas tree. Oh, whatever. All right. So yeah, it was sort of an interesting week, though. There was all these kinds of dramas and shit, and minor ones anyway, some kind of ones. So yeah, yeah. Oh, man, I'm a mess. Anyway, so we'll just go down the list here. This thing's working pretty good. I mean, it catches most videos. So yeah, Puro. There's a picture of Puro there. We'll talk about that. Yeah, I did a whatever it is, little wiener. What was that website called? Tiny Chat thing with Puro, and it works pretty good. But it is, I don't know why it's such a childish, format they have. And, they have like little pink balloons and shit in the background. It's a little spooky. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, we did like 6 hours or so. I don't know how long it was, but we talked all the physics stuff and all that kind of crap. It was pretty good. And Piro was supposed to have recorded it, but I don't think he did. And I screwed it up somehow. But yeah, it was a lot of food for thought in there in terms of the draft science kind of stuff, which was sort of interesting. I mean, I like that kind of crap. I mean, that would be something useful out of all this bullshit, is if I actually do put together some sort of thing, about physics and shit. So that might be something useful. Anyway, it was just, it was, for me and Piro, it was a pretty good overall conversation. We really didn't get too hostile or anything. Not much anyway. Alright, so what else happened here? Great Tech's just been babbling about stuff and whatever. He annoys me pretty much. Yeah, I don't think he's, whatever. He did 10 minutes on sock puppet account thingies and, whatever. Isn't that kind of, not a news story? Kind of annoying video by Jay Sounder guy, My Misery and Me. He's done 2 of them now on this idea that somehow he has a problem with feminism. And he's not really articulating what the problem is. I mean, he just doesn't think women should say, hey, you suck, you didn't do your job, get to work, fucker, or something. I don't know, like somehow women in positions of authority should somehow not de-penis the man, and somehow not humiliate him or make him feel like an asshole even when he's an asshole. I mean, I really even don't know what he's saying. It just sounds sort of like bullshit. That yeah, we have to accept that we have personality things, and then men are definitely more aggressive, and they're definitely more hair triggery, and just to keep yourself alive, you have to be kind of careful about how you talk to some men. But that's just the practical fact of reality. But this idea that somehow women have to pretend they're stupid or something, or they have to play some other game because, men can't take it, or I don't know. I'm just saying it does sound like he's basically saying that somehow his problems should be society's problems, and that's really not the game. We have to conform to each other and in some sort of practical, fair arena. And the fact is, that's just the way it is. So you're going to have to get over your bias, or you're going to get killed. Yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, let's just say that we were going to have a fair arena, and you were going to go into an arena where there's real swords, and the woman's trying to kill you. Well, you're going to have to get over your bias and kill her, or whatever the thing is. You know what I'm saying? You just can't pretend to play the same old psych games. You're just going to have to get practical and say, well, that woman's trying to steal my job. I'm going to defend myself. I'm not going to buy her candy, and I'm whatever the thing. I just don't know what it is. I'm just saying all that bullshit. Okay, it's bullshit you keep in your house or something. It's bedroom bullshit. It isn't workplace bullshit. It isn't real world bullshit. Something like that. Anyway, so it was just sounded kind of. It was just too undirected. And it's like this whole feminist conversation. People keep whining about 1 in a million people or something. It's like it's a whole terrorist thing, like there's some gigantic threat. And the real threat is that you're going to die because, somebody's poisoned your food by picking, like letting pigs, shit on your food or something. And that's a bigger threat than the terrorist, okay, realistically, to your health and welfare. But we create this hysteria. Some guy shoots up his family and people start drawing all kinds of conclusions about what society has to do. And, we have to close down the internet because some wacko went wacko. It's the whole news thing, the bleeding, leading thing. So although the real, it's almost like back to the modern mystics complaint. It's this whole idea that people keep paying attention to the crap that doesn't matter. Because it's something they know. Oh, I saw the definition of that word on Wikipedia, so let's argue about that because I'm really sure of myself, so I want to argue about that. And I don't give a fuck about anything that really matters. We're just going to argue whether it's a 4-letter word or a 5-letter word or, some other bullshit technicality. And then people get all energized or something. And, it's just the focus of the human race has always been bullshit. And it continues to be bullshit. And the truth just gets, And so derived energy is really good at pointing out that kind of stuff. He makes just really solid, straight, direct arguments about, the futility, the end game. Keeps applying a context here that, we're just, playing out reading the same script over and over and over. And the play is only successful because the audience keeps dying. And if you didn't keep killing the audience, the play would be over because everybody'd say, I've been there, done that. Been there, done that. And it's only because we keep regenerating this aggressive desire into people that you can keep moving this ball down the road. But that's all we're doing. It's the same as the modern mystic metaphor he's often used of kicking the can. And that's what we've done with the economy. They've just figured out a way to keep the game, keep it afloat, all right? But they're just putting putty in the holes kind of thing. I mean, the boat is wrecked. It's ruined. It's going to sink. And they're just pretending that somehow, there's some way they can save it. And they're not going to save it. It's going to sink. And everybody ought to start dealing with that truth, deal with where the facts are pointing, which is you got to change something. And we ought to change. We ought to be ready for the change before we ought to have the parachute on, before we fall out of the plane. That would be the right way to do it. Is to have at least the parachute in your hands. You don't even have to have it strapped on, but at least in your hands to have some hope when you fall out of the plane. Metaphors, whatever. So anyway, conference report. Yeah, he did make his public his. I'd sort of say it's an indexing site or a networking site, a place where you do the whatever they call that, a portal, where you portal, content from different places and make it consistent and salvageable and all that. Not really working yet. It's using the same kind of software TJ's old site used, that clip bucket place, which isn't bad. I mean, it does the comment thing and some of it I haven't been able to make work yet. But anyway, theoretically, it does these things. And so we could create a format where you could have content from different locations, and so there wouldn't be the same kind of control, feature. But and me and Piro talked a lot about the idea of just starting up this idea of getting at least a server going, where there would be basically the standard for the content would be a legal standard, so everything would stay up until somebody legally had a right to take it down, or a responsibility to take it down, or an obligation to take it down. And it wouldn't be all this for the public good kind of bullshit. Um, this arbitrary human personal group standard. What else? Yeah, Warble's on guy. He makes a lot of. I mean, he makes some good videos, and he makes some wacky ones. Yeah, but there's facts in there and stuff, so he's worth listening to. It's just a little crazy now and then, but aren't we all? Bubba McBack did make a stupid video, ignorant video, typical. I ragged on Bubba pretty good, and I'll probably do it for a while longer, because he does annoy me. But even on that kind of subject, it's the circumcision thing. I think I even wrote it down because it's like one point I've made the point before. I'd have to keep making it over and over because people don't pay any attention. But they keep talking about choice. There's some things, there's no practical way. If you make it a choice issue, okay, later in life, the truth is that nobody's going to make the choice because then the penalty for the choice is too high. All right, the idea of fooling with your junk when you've grown up with your junk, become attached to your junk and the way it works and everything else, why would you change it? I mean, that's just a kind of a ludicrous premise. We obviously adapt to things, and you're not, all of a sudden at 18 years old going to say, I'll just decide to arbitrarily change my junk and just see what happens. I mean, that's not going to happen. You're going to have a reason to do that. And I've sort of, in defense of a fair argument, I've pointed out that, look, most of the males who have changed later in life, so who know both sides, say that circumcision was a good idea, that they're happy with it. But of course they are, because they only changed because something was wrong with their natural junk. And so of course they'd be satisfied because they changed for a goddamn reason. They changed because something was wrong, and that's why people change. So the truth is, your kid might not be a concert pianist, or he might not have, elegant culture or sophistication, unless you force it on him somewhere in his life. That you force him to pay some attention to these things, find some way to trick him into it. And that's just the fact of life. If you think it just happens, that stuff just happens to people, no, it doesn't just happen. Some of this shit has to be made to happen. And so anyway, it's just stupid to say, let people decide when they're older, because that's just saying take away the choice, because there won't be any choice anymore. There won't be the option anymore. The choice has to be made at birth, or there's no point. It's not going to happen. And again, I'm going to argue that there is a valid argument to say that the more fail-safe position is the position that says, well, I'm going to eradicate most of the negative potential, is to say circumcise. So whatever. I don't want to get into that argument again. I really don't. But there's just so many dumb arguments out there that it's really irritating. I mean, these idiots who actually think foreskin is the most sensitive and sensual part of their penis. They have to be insane. Anyway, thoroughly. It's like saying the Coke can. It tastes really good. Yeah, I love the taste of the Coke can. Yeah, I don't like what's inside the can. No, it's the can that's really great. It's so refreshing. I love a good can of Coke, on a hot summer day. Yeah, I just pour all that stuff in the can. I pour that out because that doesn't have all the sensual Coke on it. Whatever. I mean, it's just stupid. All right, I'm not going to talk about it. No more. The end of the subject. Fucker's going to say something irritating, but I don't care. I'm just going to say the end of the subject. I've declared it. There's a Thunderfoot video. I didn't watch that yet. The great enveloping cosmos or something. That doesn't sound all that fun. So whatever. What else? Fede guy makes a lot of good videos. He did bring up, on this whole feminism subject. He brought up that woman who complained about the guy hitting on her in the elevator, and I don't know, that that is on the line. It is that kind of but I mean, these feminists are really, some of them are a little bit. I mean, they're always turning everything into negative intentions, and really, some guys can just have a total misimpression. A girl winks at them or something, and she was only like getting something out of her eye, or she just winked because she had a twitch, and they get the wrong impression. They think they're really getting somewhere, and so then they say something, like they think they can, like, this girl gives a fuck about them, and she doesn't, and so they say something, and it's called inappropriate. And I'm just saying that whole incident, it's not a good poster child for anything, because it's in too weird a place. I mean, it's just not bad enough behavior just to deserve this attention. They ought to just pick, there's so many examples of rude male conduct that I just wouldn't mess with that, because that sounds like just dumb male conduct, not rude male conduct. But, whatever. That's just my opinion. But anyway, so what else? Crazy Texican guy. His video just popped up. Mayday, 2011. Don't exactly know what that means. Sounds a little crazy. Anyway, but maybe it's an old video. Just posting it for fun or something. Yeah. Vox Neruda guy. So who else? What else? Anything else? I don't see anything else here. And let's see. Pink, she did a whole video. Update video. She's in some foreign house. Ooh, scary, scary. Old fan. It's kind of funny. She did one of her little cartoon characters there. Little purple thingy, whatever. It's kind of funny. Costumes. That's what I probably have to resort to someday, is costumes. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where that would go, though. Spark Lord. Yeah, I don't know, he's moving or something. I've heard some kind of negative things, like he's, not moving out of choice, really, which, if true, is kind of sad. Feel bad. It really does suck. It's like the fake Sagan thing. Fake Sagan seems sort of lost. I guess he's doing the sit-in thing, or whatever you call that, the protester thing. What is it called? I don't know what they call that shit. I haven't had much respect for it, I have to concede. The whole movement without a movement thing, without a direction, without a purpose, without let's just throw rocks at shit. I mean, that's really not how you build, a better tomorrow. All that crap. You gotta do more than throw rocks. So, I don't know if there's anything else on here. It's really interesting or anything. Oh yeah, that, John guy. Turquoise, little babble stuff. Yeah, whatever. I guess he's doing some sort of radio-y thing. Haven't really nailed any of that stuff down. Hasn't PM'd me or something. I guess you have to actually, you have to try a little bit if you're going to arrange something with me. I didn't check the comments section to see if he actually had a day or something picked out or whatever, but whatever. So whatever, maybe we'll do some conversation kind of videos, which I think are kind of good sometimes. Those conversation videos do sometimes bring out some worthy crap. It's like the Bureau conversation was pretty good, and that's the kind of thing that there's 6 hours of it. It'd be nice to whittle some of that down. Even some of the stick hams. I mean, I'll concede that recently there hasn't been too much gold in there, but some of those old stick hams, there were bits of them that were pretty good. I will say about the whole whatever girl on films thing, those people really are quite obnoxious. They're doing all this Nazi Holocaust deny kind of attitude talk, some sort of like you're anti-Jew or you're a Jew bigot or whatever, anti-Semite or something because you don't support Israel. I mean, this is really just batshit insane. That just somehow you know, because you would say the same thing to anybody else, talking any other fundy kind of crazy fairy tale, that somehow you've done something you're not allowed to do. You've committed a bigotry, and that's just the bullshit there. If anybody had said the same thing she said, supporting some sort of like Bugs Bunny state or something, yeah, I would have been just believe uh, your people, you know, should be in some different category than people. I think that's called bigotry. I mean, if you think you have a your people, you're already losing. That's the first step to being a loser, is to think you have a your people, or my people in your case, obviously. If you think, if you look at the world and say there's my people and then there's those people, you're fucking up. Yeah, you really are. But that's a little preachy. So fuck that shit. Anyway, yeah, I really wish there was more on here to say. Ooh, that was really outstanding. Professor Anton's been kind of boring, actually. I didn't. He did a video with the chick on the feminism stuff, and I didn't watch it because I didn't want it to fuck up my response to TJ's video, and I've never gotten back to it, so I probably should watch that. But it's probably kind of sterile and clinical, so maybe I won't. Yeah, I mean, I probably do have other things to do. And so do you, right? 1 minute. I've been talking longer than a minute. Oh, this is fucked up. Holy shit, that's really fucked up. I'm in big trouble. Um, yeah, if this is only a 1 minute long video, I am really fucked. So anyway, I'll shut up now just because that doesn't look good. How could it say 1 minute? Oh, that's just really. Alright, well, whatever. We'll find out. Yeah. Alright, till next time, and such and so forth and whatnot.